Here we go. I am on page 87 for those of you following along, and we're going to start a new text called Play Ball by Tiki Moore. Page 88. This is also a non-fiction text, meaning that it's factual. It's going to be teaching us information. You'll notice the author is using some text features like capitalizing. They're also adding a heading to each section, and they're making it bold. Bold is just a grown-up fancy way of saying they're making it darker so that you can see it easier. It stands out. A very old game. Long ago, people in Mexico and Central America liked exciting ball games. They made up a ball game thousands of years ago. It was called Pac to Pac. It was a little like basketball and a little like soccer. And here's a picture of them playing. And you notice the authors used a text feature. They're labeling their picture, just like we're teaching you to do in writing. It says, a game of Pac to Pac. Right down here. Two teams played against each other. They played outside on a ball court. The court was shaped like a capital I. It had tall stone walls on each side. And they've actually shown you two different pictures of what this looks like. A heavy ball in a high loop. We're on page 90. Pac to Pac was hard to play. The rubber ball was heavy. The court had two hoops, like a basketball court, but the hoops were made of stone. Stone is another way of saying rock, so these are really heavy and they're probably really solid. The hoop was 20 feet high. That is as tall as a giraffe. So notice your author is using an example. It is as tall as a giraffe. That gives a picture to you to keep inside your brain of just how high up that hoop was. A stone Pac to Pac hoop. So this is the stone, kind of like a rock that they're using for the ball. No hands or feet. The rules also made Pac to Pac hard to play. Players could not kick the ball. They could not throw the ball, so players needed other moves to get the ball in the hoop. Now, I don't know about you, but as I'm reading this, I'm starting to think, they can't use their feet, they can't use their hands. What in the world are they going to use to get the ball through the hoop? Players bumped the ball with their hips. They used their knees. They had to keep trying. So you can see a picture. This boy here, doesn't say his name, actually using the ball and he's hitting it against his hip. If you bend your body right now, right where you bend, you're going to have your hip right there, if you're looking for an example. The games were long. Some games lasted for days. The team that got the ball through the hoop the most won. And this is a player happy to get the ball through the hoop. Some of you are like, hey, Mrs. Bartlett, I've played soccer, I've played basketball, I've played foursquare. I know what it feels like to be a part of a game, and I know what it feels like to get the ball through the hoop or to get the ball through the goal, and how exciting that can be. So you're actually thinking just like this character here. You know what that feels like. There are some questions that go along with this passage. The first question says, what game does the picture show? Complete the sentence. So you're thinking back, what game were they talking about? The picture shows the game of A basketball, B, soccer, or C, Pac to Pac. So you're thinking back, what was this whole story about? Was it about basketball, soccer, or Pac to Pac? Number 2, why did people long ago make up Pac to Pac? Why did they come up with this game? Was it because A, they liked exciting ball games, B, they liked playing basketball, or C, they liked playing soccer? So you might need to think back, why would they create this game a long time ago? Did they still have the same games we have now, or did they have to get inventive and be creative? You can think about that. Maybe you guys could even talk about that. Question number 3. Two teams played against each other. They played outside on a ball court. The court was shaped like the capital letter I. It had tall stone walls on each side. So this is showing you a picture we had before, and showing you the writing that we have to go with the picture before. It says the picture shows old pock-to-pock courts. Which answer shows the shape of the court? Is it the shape of a circle? Is it the shape of a rectangle? Or is it the shape of a capital I? Which of these shows the shape of the court? Now, if you were using your great reader strategies, you'd go back, look at the picture, and maybe you're like, I still don't know. Go back, reread the text, and it'll actually tell you. So we have a circle, a rectangle, or a capital I. Question number 4. I am on page 95. What does the text, remember text just means the writing, what does the text say about the pock-to-pock court? Complete the sentence. The ball was A, stone, the ball was B, heavy, or the ball was C, tall. Question 5. Which picture shows how tall the pock-to-pock hoops were? Remember back in the story when they were telling us about an example of how tall the hoop was? They want you to remember that. What was the example that they gave? And then you can choose one of these. Question number 6. What are things that pock-to-pock players could not do? What was against the rules? A. Players could not kick or throw the ball. B. Players could not use their knees or hips. Or C. Players could not bump or move other players. So think back. There was something they weren't allowed to do. Question 7. What happened when a team got the ball through the hoop the most times? What happened when a team got the ball through the hoop the most times? A. The team won the game. B. The other team got the ball. Or C. The game kept going for days. So think now, when you play a sport that has a ball and a goal, a net, or a basketball hoop, if you were to get the most scores in the net or in the hoop, what would happen? Would you win the game? Would the other players get the ball and the other team? Or would the game keep going for days? Question 8. Pock-to-pock had many rules. The games lasted a long time. How are these ideas connected? How do they go together? How do they fit together like a puzzle? A. Pock-to-pock was just like soccer. B. Pock-to-pock was a boring ball game. Or C. Pock-to-pock was hard to play. How do they fit together? If you're not sure, it's okay to go back and reread.